one of the chapters in my project is actually focused on life extension and various kinds of medical research, for example, into gerontology, which the Soviet state invests in very heavily in this period, which is connected to the aging of the political class. It was connected to ideas about socialist atheism, which you see all over the health and medical literature of this period, that only an atheist materialist science can truly guarantee the best shot of extending human life, because we don't believe in all these hocus pocus ideas about reincarnation and whatever might be lying in the realm beyond, but are focused on, improving the performance of the biological body in the here and now and getting that here and now to last as long as possible. There's a related rise in interest in the ideas of Nikolai Fyodorov in this period, who was this very unorthodox figure from before the revolution, who had all of these really interesting ideas about colonizing space and having humanity resurrect dead ancestors and take over the universe as eternal beings. It is actually somewhat related to the state-approved life extension discourse in this period. There's a republication of his work for the first time since the 1920s, I believe, and some attempts to frame him within this discourse as a socialist materialist thinker, which, is tenuous. And in the post-Soviet era, the same people who issue these publications reissue them with a much more overtly religious bent. So on the one hand, you have all of this talk about, life extension, optimism, atheism, materialism. On the other hand, of course, many people, in order to make sense of death, often turn to ideas about spirituality. And certainly in the mourning practices that I have encountered among fans in this period, many of them will go to the cemetery to visit their favorite celebrity who died and bring eggs that the priest has blessed. So there's a real hybridization of practices. And at the same time that they do that, they might also, write a postcard to the mother of the dead celebrity saying, "Happy anniversary of the October Revolution." So as Smolkin talks about, it's not that it's incompatible to maintain faith in God and to maintain faith in communism necessarily, but these are ideas that are both circulating and intertwining in kind of complex ways in this period. And I think especially by the early 1980s, there's more of a sense that there's something missing in Soviet culture. This kind of craving for spirituality that a lot of people have. For example, I found a handwritten play that a fan of Vladimir Vysotsky's wrote to him in the early 1980s, using Vysotsky's lyrics to condemn the sense of corruption and decay in Soviet society and encourage everyone to turn to God as a way out of this predicament.